about Dallas, make it hurt.
Yeah, what's going on? Everybody, I'm in the building. I'm here. What's going on? Let's get it hype. Let's go. Let's let the smoke clear before we get it started. What in the world is going on? I'm a little bit late. I had some things to do, which I had to get into. So I scheduled it today for 5 o'clock. Usually, as you know, my regular time is at 3. Y'all, let me get myself together. I'm really just getting here. What's going on? Welcome once again, everybody, to the Big Time Show that is being seen and heard live now as we speak on Facebook. It is now on YouTube, on the Big Time Show YouTube channel. And it is being seen now on X or Twitter, if you want to call it that. And it is being seen on Twitch as well. I hope that you guys, of course, will come in and share immediately, if you can, to any Cowboy group, to any Cowboy haters, as usual. As you already know, they are always near and dear to our hearts. But we're going to talk about it. Listen, I came late today because I had to be at 2 homegoing celebrations. Some of you call it a funeral. I had to do 2 funerals today. One was for my a friend of over 37 years, just about, high school classmate, actually starting elementary school. We went to high school together, known him for over 30 years, graduated high school, of course, as I just said. Had to be a part of that today, and I'm just really getting home maybe about 25 minutes ago. So I'm rushing. I knew it was going to be a stacked day. And so forgive me for not coming on at my regular time, but duty calls. Most of course, you know that I'm an assistant pastor. And sometimes on Saturdays, of course, which seems to be the universal day to have funerals, of course, kind of ran into it. So I had double duty today. So forgive me for not coming on at 3 o'clock. I think you guys understand. I think you'll forgive me, but I'm here. I'm here and I'm ready to talk a little Cowboys football as we get closer and closer to finally some real football. These training camp will be open and we can start talking about position battles. We finally can. We're getting that close now. So, but until then, we still have I guess a little drama, but in this case, it's a little maybe not drama, but some of the same things that we've talked about all summer long, because the Cowboys have made sure that the story does not change. And so we're here again to talk about it. Let me speak to everybody who's here that want to talk. Listen, if you want to have a comment and you want it highlighted, if you're on YouTube, you can do that super chat, and I'll stop doing whatever I'm doing for that. Let me see what's going on. Jason, how you doing? Texas Twister, what's going on? Mark, hey, Monty, what's up with you? Norman, okay, thank you, Norman. Okay. Oh, okay, well, that's because I hadn't put it up yet, Norman. See, what you're looking for is this right here. I just ain't put it up because people like to call in before I really open it up. See what I'm saying? That's what you're looking for right there. The little ticker that has the call-in line, but I'm not doing call-ins right now, so I don't want to really put it up. Usually people that have been around the show know not to do that, but for first-time viewers and all that type of stuff, they will call in, and I don't really want that. And there it is on the tickers. You can see the call-in line, and there it is, but it's not time for that. So that's why I took it off. You see what I'm saying? That's why I do that. What's going on, Lee? I see you. Cocky Apparel. How you doing? Says that the Dolphins are better than the Cowboys. Okay. What's up, Robert? I see you. You meant on YouTube side. All good. Thank you for saying that, because I don't know. You know what? Because I'm set up. See, I run through Restream, so I can't really see. But I'm about to look now and see what I look like on there. I appreciate that, Norman. Let me see what I look like. I'm looking at myself live right now. See exactly what you're talking about. Okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So this is what I'll do. Yes, it is, Jason. So once I what I need to do, thank you, Norman, because I never noticed this. So what I will do, I will put up the number just in case I call in. I put it inside the chat. Thank you for that, for real, because I didn't know what I looked like. So I got what I got. Hey, Maddie, say I got a werewolf jersey on. If that's what you want to call Michael Parsons, so be it. You know, I never categorized him as a werewolf. He's a problem, but you know, he kind of plays like that sometimes. I don't know if you were trying to be derogatory or if you were trying to give him a compliment, but I look at it from the compliment side. He can be a werewolf on the football field. All right, let's talk real quick. I don't want to be with you guys long. You guys have already probably watching. I think some of my brothers are on right now. I don't know. I think they are. I think Vach just came on as well. I think he is. I don't know. No, I ain't got 94 on. I got 11 on. Got 11. Parsons today. What's going on? All right. Getting close to training camp. But before we get to training camp, let's talk about what you already know that we haven't had. I ain't been with you guys since Monday. Of course, there's the biggest story this week. What's up, Coach? The biggest story this week, at least since the last time I've been with you, is that the report came out that there's supposed talks between Jerry, Steve, and whoever it is. Let's just say for today, the Cowboys organization. Let's just say that, and then one Dak Prescott. About, of course, talks about contract extension, or maybe not. Whichever one it is, there's talks. Hadn't heard any negative talk. All I heard was positive talks. Just because you heard positive talks does not mean that it's going to happen. It just means positive talks. However, I want to go back to you guys. Hey, Joe, I see you, man. I want to go back to things that I have said over the summer and things you should know by now, because if you're a Cowboy fan, you should get a feel on how the Cowboys do things. So what I'm getting ready to say really is not a surprise to you, or shouldn't be. It is just a reminder of the way the Cowboys work. The Cowboys traditionally, in the case of, what's up, John? How you doing? In the case of contracts, extensions, history shows that the Cowboys do their business in training camp. It's a long list of names. And just started, it's been this way. So on my show, at least, because I knew that, I was said that if Dak gets done, it'll be in training camp. I said that. They rarely do things. My brother, angry Cowboy fan, what's up? They rarely do things. If you notice, and most of you I've known, because most of you been with me during my show when I started during the pandemic. Well, some of you joined just a little bit later, but primarily some of the names that I'm saying have been people that's been with me for a while. The Cowboys have traditionally done business as far as contracts, if you want to categorize it as extensions, all of that is done during training camp. Why have they adopted that philosophy? I don't know. But this is when they do business. If you follow my show, I said if Dak gets done, it would be, based off of what we've seen over the years, it would be done during training camp or at the beginning of training camp. Now, I don't find it ironic that the report comes out saying that the talks have been positive and all that, and they're talking now, because there hadn't been any talking before. When Jerry Jones go on vacation, wherever he parks his yacht or wherever they go, Jerry ain't thinking nothing about no business. That's obvious. You ain't heard nothing from Jerry. Look, this is the quiet, look, during this time, you don't hear absolutely nothing from Jerry or Stephen Jones. They on vacation. I mean, I'm not in that household, but maybe, they're aware of what's going on. No question about that. Maybe Jerry's wife said, look, we ain't doing no business now. Get in on this yacht and let's just float away, and we ain't doing no business. And to the credit, Jerry Jones, who has never been known as a quiet man, all of a sudden we ain't heard from him in so long that, he gonna make up for it in a few more days now when training camp start. We're gonna get to hear it all. They done had enough practice on what they gonna say, because they already know some of the questions that the media gonna be asking, why this person ain't signed, and, why we ain't doing this, and they've already practiced their answers. They already know what they're going to say. It's all coming around. But I don't find it ironic that somebody leaked out that Dak and the Jones family or whoever have started having discussions. Now, all of this talk that some content creators have had and their opinions about who that Dak is going to get signed, and then all of you Dallas Cowboy Dak haters that'll love the Cowboys but can't stand Dak, all of you said he's not going to get signed and don't sign him and let him walk and all that. And then, of course, you haters who, look for anything negative, is about to come to a screeching halt now. Somebody is going to be right in this thing. Somebody is going to be wrong. Now, I told y'all, Jerry is not stupid. You don't be as successful as he's been, and stupid attaches to you. I don't care what. I know we ain't won in 25, 30 years, whatever it is. I understand we ain't won the Super Bowl. But the part that you don't want to give credit to is this. And whether you want to attach the credit to Jimmy Johnson, that's fine. Jerry Jones does have 3 rings on his finger. He was a part of building a championship team, even if that means just him writing the check. Jerry Jones is a Hall of Fame owner. You don't get into the Hall of Fame just because you flip the coin and say yes on one side and no on the other side. You earned your way to get there. Jerry Jones is there. You don't get to the Hall of Fame by being stupid. Every owner is not in the Hall of Fame. You got to have a little uniqueness to you in order to get there. Jerry Jones has more rings than a lot of owners have. See, we talk about the last 30 years or whatever, but you can't dismiss the fact that he got 3 rings on his finger now. And I just don't believe that Jerry Jones, as much as he said that he'll do anything to win. He wants to win. This is just me. You may think differently. I just can't see Jerry Jones going back and going to a struggle. Why? Because we all know that you have to have a quarterback in order to win in this league. It's just been proven. And if you don't have one, you better have some elite type stuff on the other side. In other words, if you got a below average quarterback, you better have a top 2 or top 3 defense. Just that simple. You better be number 1 or number 2 in special teams. I mean, you got to be elite at that. If you're going to have an average quarterback, you better have that. Well, the Cowboys don't have that type of defense. Kind of like when Baltimore won its first championship, you had Trent Dilfer as your quarterback. But look at the defense they had with Ray Lewis and Rod Woodson and, the very first one, the one that only allowed 13 points a game. You see what I'm saying? You got to have that type of defense to carry you to a Super Bowl championship. We don't have that type of defense. So it just don't make any sense to me based off Jerry. Jerry don't want to go back to struggling at quarterback. He done seen the quarterbacks. He knows he done seen quarterbacks. He knows that he has to win. He knows that in order to do that, you got to have a quarterback. And contrary to what a lot of y'all say, Dak Prescott is a quarterback. And let me go and clarify something. He ain't average. He's not. I know the chat finna light up now. I understand that. But the numbers say that he's not average. I already know what you finna say to that. So you ain't got to type it in. But he's 2-5 in the playoffs. I get that. That's a part of being the quarterback. But if you're going to holler out 2-5, make sure that you give me everything now. The stats say that he's more than good. playoff record say it's not good. 2-5 is not good, no matter how you look at it. And I understand at the same time, when you say that, you have to be fair in your assessment even on that. Because, see, Dak didn't win or lose the games by himself. Hello. Like some of y'all want to attribute it to it, as we all know. We'll just do the last playoff game, which Dak did throw a pick six and then threw another interception. But the part that nobody really ever want to talk about is that Green Bay scored dang near 50 points. Take away the pick six. Take away the other interception. Let's just say that interception turned into a touchdown, which I think it did. I know the pick six did. Take away 48 points. They had 48 points in the third quarter. So take away the 2 touchdowns. That's 14 points. You still got 30-some odd points scored against you. That sounds like no defense to me. So let's not act like Dak is the sole reason why the Cowboys lose playoff games. Even if you look at his playoff games numbers, if I showed you his numbers, you have to count them. You may need to restate your case, because if you really look at the numbers, he's had pretty good games, even in that. All right, I already know what you're gonna say. Well, some of that was garbage time. Well, you had to bring him back. If he down 31-3, they know he passing. They still couldn't stop it. Hello, I get it. But it just don't make any sense to me. Let me get back on track here. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is just me. If Jerry say he ain't got but a few years left, he ain't got time for experiments. AKA Trey Lance. AKA whoever y'all thinking in free agency that might want to come for cheap in Dallas, he ain't got time for that. It's just me, man. What's up, Buck? I see you angry. Angry says, wish I was on this with you. I might make a video on that topic. Yeah. He just angry. You might get your wish. I hope you set up. See, you ain't got to say nothing to me but one time. That's how I roll. If you ain't set up, angry Cowboy fan, get set up. See, that's how when you got brothers on here, you know. This just how we do it. It's to that point now. Anybody that I bring on here is good to go. Let's see if this is right. Yep. Y'all forgive me, but got my guy. Ain't Cowboy fan. All right, ain't Cowboy fan. I think my brother gonna come on with me in just a second. Hit that link. Just sent you a link to your email. Ain't Cowboy fan. I know when you get here if you still there. All right, so he's just once you add up, common sense has to take over. I just don't think that Jerry wants to experiment. Now, Stephen Jones, however, he might want to experiment because he don't want to pay no money. Jerry Jones, on the other hand, he does not. I see you, Cowboy fan. He does not. He don't have time for experiments. I mean, I've been hearing him say it for the last 5 years. What I wouldn't do, the check amount that I would write in order to do that. Based off that, why in the world would you allow, in my view, or at least, let me put it this way, based off of last year, we talking about a top 5 quarterback. No doubt about it. So you're going to give that up to do what? I mean, let him I mean, he gonna play this year, but uh, next year, I'm just stating the case. It's common sense to me, you know. And for some of you fans, because see, I remember some of the comments that have been stated here on at least my show. Not from the haters, because I expect some of the answers from the haters, but even from boy fans. That, we started talking about the price and what you think he ought to be making or whatever. Well, I've seen some of y'all saying, man, look, y'all even say that paying him $50 million is too much. What's up, Coach? I see you. Hey, Swain. So, what's good, Swain? I see you, bro. Appreciate you popping on. So even the Cowboy haters itself, saying it's too much. You just want him to walk, but it's just common sense to me that based off the thing that I've heard Jerry say for the last 4 or 5 years, I just don't think he wants to go back to experimentation. I just don't see it. Steven, might be a different story. Slightly. Jerry is a total different story. So as I said before, and let me go back. See, Jerry, at the same time, what we all know about Jerry is Jerry sometimes is full of it. Hey, B-Bird, what's up? And Jerry would say things and all this type of stuff. He just be flapping his gums and talking and all that. However, what we have to do with Steven, though, is, based off all these years and listening at him, Steven is almost categorized to me as somewhat of a straight shooter. And when Steven says something, you better put a little bit more value into what he says. See, Steven to me, and again, I say to me, Steven does not leave you too much room to be wondering. You see what I'm saying? It's just, I just don't, if I put more value into what Steven says than Jerry. Jerry will carry you around the world. Steven ain't kind of built like that. And Steven has said consistently about the philosophy of how they pay people and getting value. What you pay one, you can get 2 or 3 guys for. That part he does. And they go by their philosophy. Jerry has just adopted that. You see what I'm saying? Jerry has just adopted that. You hear Jerry say that now. He used to be like that. He's adopted kind of the things that Steven has said. Now, why did I say that? All right. Here's what Steven has said about Dak Prescott. We love Dak. We want to get him signed. And Steven knows, just like Jerry, that if you're going to sign Dak Prescott, you ain't getting no discount. It's just that simple. Hey, you got a super chat. B-Bird said, Stephen Jones is running this organization. JJ just signs off on it. And lately, it kind of leans that way. Okay? It does. What B-Bird just said, it kind of leans that way. If you just can just do a retract or and go back and then kind of see what Steven have said. It just, I mean, I don't trust neither one of them, but I know that I don't think they want to go to purgatory again. Now, Dak will be playing this year. whether he signed on the extension or not. Yeah, I did. I ain't a Cowboy fan. Let me see who I sent it to. I did send it. I sent it to. Let me see. See, I sent it to. Let me just put it this way, your 2023 at Gmail. I don't know if that's the right one, but that's what I sent it to. Text me the, if I sent it to the wrong one, text me the right one, where you want me to send it to. I ain't opened up the line yet, Coach Mar. And to your comment, I mean, I ain't saying Stephen Jones is the, I ain't saying he that. I'm just saying, if I was to put value into the both of them, I would put the value into what Steven says more than Jerry Jones. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. Steven is more of a straight shooter than Jerry is. Jerry carry you all around the world with his stuff that you gotta look up to figure out and all that type of stuff, and his slang and his messages. You gotta work to figure out what he's trying to say, and then of course he know what he's doing because he's a media type dude. I understand, Swain. That's why I said if I was to put value on it, it would just be, I would take what Steven say more than I take Jerry. Not that I believe in what he say. It's just that if I was to put between the two, I would take Steven. Now, to go back what I said, Steven says they love him, of course. Stuff they've been saying all the time. They want him. They want to do it. And again, for those that are just coming in late, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because as you all know, you heard that evidently the talks have started. We've been saying here, at least on my show, that if the Cowboys get something done, it would be ending up training camp or sometime during training camp. That's what the history shows with this team. That's what they do. I just said I don't find it ironic that a report would come out that there's been talks now between Dak's side and the organization side. That doesn't mean that he's going to get something done. Dak may not want to get nothing done. You understand? Because it's rare when an athlete that's on that tier of getting paid like Dak, we think Dak gonna get paid. It's rare when they can become unrestricted free agents. I mean, you talking about a driver's seat, especially if you got something to stand on like stats and numbers and all this type of stuff. It's rare when a player can get to this type of status. And so Dak very well may not want an extension. He might want to go to a team or might want to see if he can get, possibly $59, $60 million a year or whatever. He might want to do that. He very well might. He might. And considering how the price tag keep going up, and even if it doesn't go up, a player of his caliber, no matter what y'all say, a player of Dak's caliber can reset the market. If Trevor Lawrence can reset the market, my God, what in the world you think Dak Prescott can do? Considering the fact that Trevor Lawrence ain't done nothing. He ain't done nothing. What in the world you think Dak Prescott can demand? If Trevor Lawrence can demand it, You understand? So, he very well might want to do this. I mean, we don't know. Dak is aware of what happens if he just play this out. If he plays this out, Dak is very much aware. He knows what this means if he play this year out without an extension. He knows what he's getting ready to run into as far as possible contract, though. He knows. He knows what Trevor Lawrence just got paid. He knows Tua is coming behind. He knows Purdy is coming. He knows. And he knows that he can just sit back and let them. He knows Jordan Love is coming up. He knows. He very well may not want an extension. He very well. He very well. The meeting could be so quick. And if that, I'm just saying this. I don't know if this may be the case or not, but this is what I'm saying. What if Dak? I said, what if? So y'all don't come down on me. What if Dak goes into the office, Steve and Jerry, whoever, and says, okay, if they ask him or what the agent asks his agent, annually per year. Okay? Annually per year. If that's what the criteria was, where do you think where are we talking? What if Dak comes in and immediately just shoot for the moon and say, hey, I want $59 to $60 million a year. And Jerry and them say, like, well, that's a little bit too steep for us. We just can't do that. Dak says, okay, I understand. We'll pay out. I'll just get this money for this year, and I don't want to talk about it anymore until after the season. Because when it's football time, I just want to play football. I don't want to talk about it no more. So that'll be the end of that discussion. And when the season ends, guess what? Everybody be knocking at his door. He very well may not talk to the Cowboys. He may not break down and say, well, I do 55, 56. If he says 59 and 60, and they say, well, it's just a little bit too much. Okay, thank you. I mean, that very well could happen. Or what if it's this conversation? What if Dak says this? What if Dak signs for whatever, 200, whatever, million, I don't care, I don't know, whatever. But all of it, not all of it, but a whole lot of it is guaranteed. And to help the Cowboys out, what if he sets a record for a signing bonus? Mm-hmm. What if you do that? In other words, when he signed his name on the contract, you got to push over a $90 million bonus. I mean, signing bonus. What if he do that? What if you do that? Man, you walk home, you go in one day, and then 8 hours later, when you leave, or 5 hours later, what? And then you walk away with a $90 million signing bonus. 90 immediate. All you gotta do is put it in, get a direct deposit, or put it in your bank, or wherever you're gonna put it. 90 million. See, there are ways to get it done, and that'll help you out on the salary cap and everything, because you get to manipulate it and all that type of stuff. But it is what it is, y'all. This is what can happen. I'm just throwing it out there. But let me just say this before I move on, because I'm about to go football finally. Yeah, I'm gonna go football for about 10 minutes, then I'll take it to the next thing. This is what can happen, y'all. All I know is, and I believe the reports, that there's been some talking going on now, because it fits what the Cowboys do. It's almost training camp time. It's when the Cowboys traditionally do business. Makes sense. Now, personally speaking, and this is another argument, it just depends on what Dak talking about. See, I always said that I thought that CD would get paid first anyway, and that very well make it happen too. But I really thought that they should go get CD locked up real quick, especially if their mindset is saying, well, we're gonna let Dak play on it, or we have a number that we're gonna stay stubborn to, and we're not gonna offer that more. If you're gonna do that, you need to go and do CD. That's just what I feel. But maybe they're gonna try to do both of them, which they can actually. They can. They just gotta get the salary cap part right. Okay. So that's that on that. Now, let me go a little football, and then I'll let you guys take over from that point on. Which leads now, since we get into training camp. Now a lot of you guys who I've seen on my show, you're about to get your wish. And I'm about to get my wish too. And that is, you're getting ready to see Trey Lance play a whole lot. Why am I saying that? Because Dak Prescott is not playing in the preseason. And we all know that. Which means Trey Lance, Cooper Rush, primarily are about to be your two guys getting ready to play. And all of y'all that swear up and down Trey Lance is this and that and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Got a super chat. B Bird says the Cowboys have an issue with the cash part of the contract. If you give up front money and spread it out over the life of the contract, the cap hit is low. Yeah, that's true. That's what I was just saying. What's up, JC? What up with you, man? Exactly, B Bird. Appreciate you popping in. I got royalty in the house. JC Cowboys in the building. What's going on? No, they don't. They're not known for it, but to be honest with you, we just got to see. I ain't saying it's leaning that way. I agree, Swain. They not ready, but check this out. See, they got to, I ain't gonna say they got away with it in the last contract. The Cowboys ain't never been in this position before. Not with a quarterback that is probably going to demand this type of money. We ain't never been in this position before. So we don't have no history really how the Cowboys act. We know how cheap they are, but at the same time, they know that in order to get this caliber of quarterback, you're going to have to pay. There's no way around it. Unless the person give you a discount. I mean, a real discount. I mean, they've never been on this. They don't want to. We all know they don't want to pay. We know they cheap. We know that. They cheap in free agency. They cheap and signing different. We know that. But they ain't never been in this position before where they got to go ahead and pay folks. This type of dude. And I guess you can say the same thing for CD. We got history with the Amari Cooper. They didn't want to pay Amari Cooper $20 million, but I got a feeling that they didn't like Cooper personally. I believe personal stuff got involved in that when we started talking about COVID, and Cooper didn't want to take the shot, and then Cooper got sick. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't want to do the team thing, and they traded him to what they thought was purgatory, sent him to Cleveland, and that type of stuff. I think it had more to do with it. He got into the doghouse, and he was injured at the wrong times and stuff like that. But they didn't. Plus, you add in the $20 million that Amari was due or was asking for. and they didn't want to pay him that. They ain't never had a receiver that they potentially going to have to pay $30+ million to. They ain't never been in this type of position where the market for that caliber of wide receiver demands that you got to pay him the market worth. You can't come to him talking about let's pay you $23 million a year. No. You can't do that with CD. He's earned the right to be up there. So they've never had this. So we got to see how they respond before I really give total judgment. I know what the history looked like. I'm even saying the same thing about Dak. They ain't never been in this position. And they know they got to pay it. They know it's $50 million plus. They know it. They know it. Even if Dak gave that discount, not being the highest paid or 55, 56, 57, 8, whatever. They know this is over 50. They know that. They ain't never done this before. Y'all talking about 60. Shoot, the Cowboys ain't never had to pay this type of money for a quarterback. We don't know how they're going to act, but they know they can't come to them disrespecting them. Talking about we want to offer you $51 million. You can't do that to Dak. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. They know they can't. They can't do that. They just can't. They can't. You see what I'm saying? You can't go to CD saying, okay, you getting paid. Say, I got you, Jim. And a lot of people believe that. I like that comment, Jim, and I'm gonna come back to it. Matter of fact, let me put yours there so I won't forget it. I'm gonna leave that there just so I can come back to it. They ain't never had this quote unquote problem where their guys are all pros at the same time and at the top of their position just about. They ain't never had this type of issue. I mean, last time we had a quarterback and a wide receiver on this level with the Dallas Cowboys, it was Troy and Michael Irvin. That was it. Michael Irvin was all pro. Troy was all pro. That type of thing. But of course, the money was different back then than it is now. I get that. And it wasn't no salary cap back then either. So, hello. So they really never had this type of situation. It's going to be interesting to see how this is handled. That's all I want to say. Now, to go back to Jim's thing, he said Jerry not trying to win, big bro. A lot of people feel that way because we haven't seen anything happen. My only question to you, Jim, and to everybody else that think like that is, then what are you going to say if and when they sign Dak? Would that be a sign that they are trying to win? What if they sign CD to $30 million? Ladies and gentlemen, my brother in the building. Hey,
yo, what's going on, man?
Building. Well, I told you, knew he was coming. What's going on, man?
I ain't too late for the party, am I?
No, you ain't too late.
Talking about?
Yeah, we in here. So, but I'm saying just based off, and Cowboy, I'm gonna let you have the floor, and you can jump wherever you want to jump. But I want to stay with just this comment just by Jim. Like if he does sign CD, then would you change what you're saying? What's up, Drew? I see you, the Eagles in here. What would you say then? If he signs that, then what would you say then? Would you say he's trying to win? Then, of course, they're not signed to an extension now. So right now, you're right until something changes, and I give you that. But what if he does? Then a lot of people are going to have to change their language about saying it because of course, you'll have some of these folks that'll come back and say, well, shoot, he signed it, but he still ain't going to win. That type of stuff. I don't even want to hear that. It's just the philosophy. in order to get these guys, you can't skip around it. They've earned the right to be considered top 3, top 2 in their position. So it demands that you pay them as such. Again, and I'm not saying Dak Prescott is top 2 or whatever, but I am saying based off last year, without a doubt, top 5 quarterback, no question about that. No ifs, ands, or buts. And even if you don't think he was, Trevor Lawrence just reset the market. And he is not top 5. Trevor Lawrence is borderline, to me, top 10 quarterback. I don't even think he belongs there. But the bottom line is, I keep trying to tell y'all, it ain't about football. It's about the value that an organization has for the quarterback. And they paid Trevor Lawrence as such, where he's now the highest paid guy in the league along with Joe Burrow. So if Trevor Lawrence gets $56 million and he ain't done nothing, what in the world you think Dak Prescott is going to ask for? That's all I got to say. I ain't Cowboy fan. Appreciate you coming on, brother. You know how we do it. As soon as you say you put the bat signal in there, I'm calling you on the bat phone. Let's go. So you ready to rock? Come on, sir. You got the dance floor, man. You got it. Go ahead.
All right. As far as the question, Jerry's not trying to win. I mean, I have wrestled with that in my head. Yeah, and I believe a lot of Cowboys Nation has wrestled with that in their head for the past 29 years. Is Jerry really wanting to win? But at the same time, we look at these draft picks that we get, and Will McClay is so good, except for last year. That's yet to be determined. But Will McClay is so good is that we keep getting these and drafting these and developing these all pros. And when it comes time to pay the piper, we ain't trying to pay the piper. You know, we ain't trying to give these men what they deserve. And like you were talking about Trevor Lawrence and resetting the quarterback market, that shows you that it's all about what they think you can do for the team as opposed to what have you done. You know, because if that was the case, everybody's example, Justin Herbert wouldn't have gotten paid. Trevor Lawrence, who has only made the playoffs once, if I'm not mistaken, wouldn't have gotten paid. So I don't know. I'm just listening to this. What's up, Drew? How you doing, man? We was able to get on. I seen him on the live and everything, and he was spitting his truth, you know, about the Cowboys and the Eagles. So I really appreciate that. But anyway,
yeah, Drew, all right. We just, you know, he is what he is. You know, he's an Eagle fan, so there's a natural disdain for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's vice versa. It's the same way. They don't like, but Drew talks with some sense. He's not one of these rambunctious Eagle fans. He'll tell the truth at least. And don't mean because he tell the truth. He'll tell the truth and still dislike the Cowboys too. So I can deal with him. You know what I'm saying? I can't deal with some of these other Eagle fans. So go ahead. No. Okay. So I just tell me your thoughts, because I haven't heard what you had to say. I know you done something. What was your response to the report about the talks now between Dak and the organization, since we're so close to training camp now? How did you interpret that?
I interpret that as everybody knows the playbook. Everybody knows how this is scripted now. Man, these guys have been talking. I don't know. I just think that they have been talking, and it's like, all right, just don't worry about it. Let's stretch this thing out. Except for CeeDee Lamb, I think that Jerry and Dak are on a level. Like, we got to get some people done, but we are gonna get you done. Don't worry about it. But as far as CeeDee Lamb, God, I don't know what's going on with him, man.
He's not playing corporate cowboy. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Jerry has Jerry knows Dak want to get paid, but yet Dak making the schedule release videos sitting right beside him, and doing the good corporate cowboy thing and being nice and still showing up for everything. CeeDee Lamb ain't trying to show up for nothing. See what I'm saying? CeeDee Lamb ain't doing. CeeDee Lamb is not taking the corporate face. CeeDee Lamb is letting you know and leaving no doubt. Listen, I'm not happy. I want my money. You know I deserve it. You know I want it. And until I get it, I ain't showing up. And I don't think they, and I think that they don't like that. And but he's not Dak. You see what I'm saying? He's not Dak. And I think they got a problem with guys who kind of, and I may be wrong in saying this or describing it the wrong way. I want to say something like have a gangsterish type attitude or present yourself as a bully in the negotiations, and you using your leverage by not showing up for anything. You ain't answering no phone calls. You don't want to talk to Jerry or Steven. You saying, go talk to my agent. I don't want to talk to him. And I don't, that ain't the way Jerry's used to stuff. But that's what he's getting with CD, if that's the case. And can't blame him. He want his money. It's just the bottom line. Yeah. And he's earned it, to me. And that money and that price tag is something Jerry Jones probably in all these years thought he would never do. He knew the quarterback thing was going to go up. He knew that. He had to know that from years and years gone by. But in his wildest dreams, I doubt very seriously that he ever would think that he would have to pay a wide receiver $30+ million. And I think he got a problem with that, for real.
I don't know. I mean, he was a part of the owners that brought this salary cap together. So you know if you were a co-author of that salary cap, you know that the bill is gonna come due, and that these guys' markets, the highest paid, is gonna rise every single year. You're counting on the fact that the salary cap is going to explode next year. We're gonna have this much on the salary cap, but also take into consideration that your top players are gonna do the same thing. I swear, man, Jerry, it just feels like Jerry, he wants to get top quality from bargain bin prices, like we want to get our people out of the draft. We don't want to go to free agency and spend top dollar. But then everybody gets mad when we don't get the results that we're looking for, or that they're looking for, I should say. And it's like, oh no, it's this person. It's Dak Prescott. It's solely Dak Prescott. Like, God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy. Appreciate that super chat, Terry. Terry says Dak gonna get fair market value, estimated at $62 million per year. I don't know if it's gonna be that much, but it's gonna be close. I don't know if it'd be 62, but it should. Let me put it this way: it should be above Trevor Lawrence.
It should, yeah.
I'll say that. So, where that money is, 56. That's the starting blow for me. That's for me. So 56 and above, we talking. Anything less than that, we ain't talking about nothing. I ain't even answering the phone. It's just that simple. You know what, Aaron Cowboy fan, this is what you don't have to agree at all, but we ain't really never been at this spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying as far as, and I mean, and to understand this, you got to go all the way back to the 90s. That we and I really can't go back to that because there was no salary cap. So this is uncharted territory where the Cowboys, they're stars. And we can go down the list. Dak Prescott, top 5. I'll just say that. Okay? Top 5 quarterback. CeeDee Lamb. Top 5 wide receiver.
Yep.
You might even say top 3. Zach Martin. Top guard.
Yeah.
Number 1 or 2. You notice what I'm saying now. Tyron Smith, whose time ain't yet, but right now, top 2, maybe 3 guard in the whole league. I mean, we're talking about an all-pro. First team all-pro now. So we're talking top guard in his position. All right? You either left guard, you got 2 guards. He's definitely one of the 2 best guards in the league. He's all first team all-pro, okay? So I just went down the list. Dak Prescott. I already said Dak. So that's about 4 or 5 I just named. Diggs. Bland. Well, Bland ain't got paid yet, but that's another whole conversation in itself.
Yeah.
But let me just leave that alone. We'll just go Diggs, Parsons. Parsons definitely top 5, and that may be 2 less. All right, right there. I'm saying the Cowboys, this is what I'm saying. They are uncharted territory because the people that they got to pay, they're going to have to pay them as if they are the best at their positions. And if you're paying guys that are at the best of your positions, you're paying a tremendous price to keep your team together. And you got to make some choices. And you got some guys that's coming up. Tyron Smith. Tyler
Yep.
Smith. When it's time for him, look out.
Oh, yeah.
Big money. Parsons. Big money. Dak. Big money. CD. Big money. I'm talking about the best at your positions, and they ain't never had this problem, man. They had never had this problem before, and I don't know if they know how to. See, they want you to be good, but they don't want you to be great now, because you got to pay great money to keep these guys. I'm serious. I don't think we ever been at this spot before, and I'm not sure if they gonna respond correctly to get it done. And all of them are kind of bunched. If they ain't all was 1 year, this guy got to get paid. Mm-hmm. 2 of them got to get paid that year. Then coming up is another, it just keep coming back to back where you got to pay a huge amount of money, and they ain't never been at this spot before. Parsons gonna come on now. Parsons gonna be the highest paid defensive player ever. You see what I'm saying? It's got to happen if you're gonna keep him. You see what I'm saying?
That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. That's the real question. If you keep him, and I don't think, as Drew just said, and I agree with Drew on this, somebody ain't gonna make it.
Right?
Now somebody ain't gonna make it. I agree with you, Drew, on that. But I'm saying if these guys that I just called out are just about at the top of their positions, and they ain't never had this problem before. Talk about that, Angry Cowboy thing.
I mean, I've been juggling along with the question: do they consider trading Micah Parsons?
I wouldn't let him go for free. That's for sure.
Oh no! You don't.
Yeah, you
let him go for free. And real quick, Terry Turner, his Dak Prescott's agent name is Todd France.
They don't like Todd France either.
No, they don't like him. They don't like Todd France. But my thing is like, I know they're looking for quantity, and when they get the quantity, they get so much quality out of the quantity. Now they don't know what to do. Like you said, this is unprecedented. It's uncharted territory. So one thing that they have done, though, they have gotten off a great commodity and got a lot back from it. Yeah. So like, I'm drawing a blank. Herschel Walker. Yeah. They did the whole Herschel Walker thing. They got a boatload for him. You do that with Micah Parsons. or CD Lamb, somebody that really does have a clause where we can trade you. Everybody's talking about trade Dak Prescott. He can tell you no all year long. No, I'm not going to them. No, I'm not going to them. And then we're stuck, twiddling our thumbs. With Micah Parsons, you could get 2 first-round picks in a third, or you could get a first round and a third round and a player.
Yeah.
You might have to start looking at that. And the reason why I say Micah Parsons is because, like, Marshawn Nealon, I think he's going to be a great edge rusher. Or the fact that DeMarcus Lawrence's contract is coming up next year. So
I think DeMarcus is gone.
Yep, you trim the fat off.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. I think DeMarcus, I don't even think that's kind of obvious. And DeMarcus is still playing at a very high level. But if Nealon, as Angry Cowboy fan just said, shows glimpses of where he actually probably can play this year, and we're gonna find out a lot about him in the preseason as well. And if he looks like everybody says he is, then you definitely are gonna have to let him go. Let me go to this question that Drew says real quick. He says, real question, no cap. Is Michael worth paying $35-40 million, and he has 1 sack in 4 playoff games? To me, yes, he is worth it, because you got to do more than just that. You got to look at a problem that is guys like a Michael Parsons don't come around. He's different. Whenever you get a difference maker, he is that. He's that. And if they use him right, I think you're really gonna see a real problem. When I say use them right, in my previous shows about 2 or 3 shows ago, I think me and Coach Mar primarily was talking about how to play Michael Parsons from a linebacker position. Use him like a chess piece on a chessboard, and you're really gonna find out what he's really all about. So I think he's worth that tremendously. A lot of people talking about sacks, but what about the pressures that he had? Next quarterback maybe that's the reason why Bland is able to get his hand on the ball like he does. Maybe that's the reason why Diggs has gotten his hands on the ball like he does. That counts when you got to make a throw when you make the quarterback throw it a little bit earlier than he wants to. It makes a difference. Now, what Michael is having a problem, maybe this has to do with coaching, is maybe not playing him in the right spot. Get him off the edge because he can't handle the run good. He's too small. It's just that simple. He's too small to handle double teams, sometimes triple team. He's just not that type of a force like that. But that's where coaching then comes into play. Go ahead and speak to that, Angry Cowboy fan. Is he worth $35-40 million a year?
See, that's the question, and that's a lot of people's gripe with Dak Prescott, is that whenever he shows, when we go to the playoffs, they say he doesn't show up. I mean, I beg to differ. He starts slow, but as far as Micah Parsons, like, you only got 1 sack in the postseason. I mean, I gotta actually fact check that, but it's really low. Like, during the Green Bay Packers game, he had what? I believe it was 1 tackle and 1 assisted.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you aren't getting action like that, your coach should be scheming to where you're taking the brunt, where you're doing the stunts and everything, and everybody else is eating. There should have been more sacks on Jordan Love in that game because Micah was non-existent. So it's like, the question arises, it's like, do you just do that to NFC East teams? Do you just do that to garbage time teams? And whenever the lights get the brightest, you fade. Like, is he I mean, everybody says this generational talent and everything. A generational talent is what is what Aaron Donald did.
Yeah.
You know, whenever he gets double teamed and he pushing 2 men off of him.
Yeah, still get his numbers.
He
got double teamed every play.
Yes, and still got his numbers. Yeah. So I know there was somebody in the chat, I forgot who said it, but would he be able to eat at the linebacker position? And I'm thinking like more, you know, off-ball linebacker, like blitzing from that area, because as far as coverage, you know, he may be a little shaky, but as far as blitzing from the linebacker position, maybe he would be better that way, and we have a legit defensive end on the end that the quarterback has to worry about also, as well as Micah Parsons blitzing through the A and B gap,
like a Sam Williams. Well,
yeah.
That's the part where any Cowboy fan is right. However, I think that, and we've talked about this, especially Coach Marv when we were on here. I think that you would see something that you've never seen before if he went and played a lot of linebacker. I ain't saying where he would split it. I'm talking about sometime he line up as a linebacker. Sometime he does get back on the edge. Sometime he lines up a linebacker dead over the center. Center can't deal with him, you know, blitzing up the middle like that. We done seen that too many times. Even if he's not getting the sack, the pressure is just crazy. So I think that and he's fast enough, as we all know, that he can cover a little bit. You know, we don't have a whole lot of tape, but he's effective in that. And remember, you know, and there's not a lot of tape on that as well, but he was a linebacker at Penn State. So let's not forget that he wasn't playing defensive end at Penn State. They lined him up everywhere, but he was primarily a linebacker. So he knows what to do.
See, like, that's my thing. That's my thing, is that he was a linebacker in Penn State, got to the pros. Dan Quinn put him at that defensive end. He got a taste of blood, saw that the defensive end position was more money for him, and just really didn't want to resort back to that linebacker. Could you imagine him I know they're not going to do it, but Eric Kendricks is going to be that position, or Maurice Leofau is going to be the middle linebacker position, that Mike linebacker. But could you imagine Micah Parsons right there?
But on that note, I'm gonna say this, Aaron Cowboy fan, that if he doesn't like it, and Zimmer ain't really worried about what you like and what you don't like, you're gonna play his way, okay?
Good.
But check this out. If he does it, what we just talked about, the chess piece type dude, and he makes another first team or even second team All-Pro, he still gonna get the money.
Yeah.
Because on his resume, it's gonna say ever since he came into the league, he been an All-Pro.
Yeah. Yeah.
From rookie year all the way up until this year. That's all he knows. And if he makes another All-Pro team, he's gonna have the right to go in and say, this is what I've done. You can't say I didn't produce. I'm All-Pro every year. And based off that, I am still considered to be one of the top 2, 3, 4 defensive players in the league, even though I split time in different spots.
Right.
But he also can say, can't nobody do what I just did. Because he's going to eat at the linebacker position. He's just too disruptive, too fast. You know what I'm saying? If the defensive tackles and everybody do their job on the line, this dude finna run free. And Micah Parsons running free, that's going to be a problem. You see what I'm saying? So if on that note, we already know what he can do as far as on the edge. We know what he can do blitzing up the middle. You throw in a couple of 1 or 2 or 3 interceptions on that just by dropping back. Doc, it ain't nobody in the league can do that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody. TJ Watt can't do it. You know, he's more of a hybrid type dude. Nobody would be able to do it. If this dude get over 100 tackles a year, 100 tackles and still give you about 13, 14 sacks, and then you throw in interception or two. There's nobody in the league that can do that. And I think he's fully capable of it. And he had the right to go to the negotiating table and say, hey, ain't nobody like me. So what we talking about here? And I still think that he can get all the money on there. You just can't keep him at edge because you're robbing the team then. Because if you just robbing him and leave him at edge, okay, I got two players who I think need to be on the field. One for sure. That's Sam Williams.
Sam Williams, yeah.
And then if Nealon is what a lot of people thinking he is, those are some snaps that he's going to have to play as well. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So my dream is this, Angry Cowboy fan. What if there's a package for Zimmer? Because Nealon is big enough to play inside. Yeah. We know DeMarcus Lawrence can play inside too. So what if your front four for one package or a couple players or so is Nealon, Lawrence at DT. These will obviously be on passing situations. Sam and Mike on the edges. Can you imagine the problems that would cause? I'm just saying, but in order for that to happen, sometimes I need Michael to play at linebacker. You see what I'm saying? Even though I just gave you him being on the edge as well. I'm just saying, if you're dedicated to just putting them on right end or left end, whichever one you want to do, then you're robbing the team because Sam Williams need to be on the field this year. Right. See what I'm saying? And he just as disruptive as anybody. He just ain't had the time to show it. So to go back to what people were saying, Drew, I think he's worth that because of all the havoc that he can cause. DeMarcus Lawrence, Drew, has done that. I don't know what Nealon can do. He's a rookie. We don't know that yet. So I don't know. He's big enough. And he did that in college. I don't know. Even if I just say an OC there, that'd have been fine too. See what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Go ahead, Hank.
I just got to say this real quick, just in case, Terrence Parsons actually watches this or Micah Parsons sees this or something like that. I'm a fan. I'm not saying get rid of you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying pay you money. We don't want to get rid of you here in Dallas, but that's one of the questions that could be asked. What will we get for him?
Well, I'm in agreement slightly with Drew that I think it's going to be impossible to have all this because the salary cap is what it is. The salary cap demands that you just can't pay 5-6 people at top level positions. I mean, you can't do it. So there's going to have to be a decision made at some point, and we may be in that decision now with the Dak CD issue. We might very well be there. I don't want it to happen, but the Cowboys may have made, this slight decision slowly but surely on what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. It very well could be that right now. I doubt it, but it could be. You've already made a decision by saying, well, we're not going to pay a quarterback that amount of money. So just go on play out this year. You got plenty of money, and you go on the free agency. I hope that's not the case, but as of now, you can, it very well could be that way.
Nah, Drew. I ain't kissing the ring. Kissing the ring. I do like him as a player. That's why I got his jersey. I like him as a player. But if I'm going to hold Dak Prescott to the standard of regular season play, he is only, like, when contracts happen, they only look at the regular season. The stats, they only look at the regular seasons. If I'm going to look at Dak Prescott that way, I got to look at Micah Parsons that way. I cannot bring into the fact that he didn't show up against Green Bay in the playoffs, things like that. I can't bring that into consideration. So I'm not kissing the ring, but just bringing something out there. Ain't nobody talked about talks of getting rid of Micah Parsons, but
no,
it's one of those things that could be talked about.
The thing about it is, and I've said this before, Drew, maybe you've heard me say it, and it's fair. I ain't gonna say it's fair. It's just your assessment of a player. The more, your comments kind of lean toward about what do you do in money time. That is a factor, but it's not the total factor.
Right.
To do an honest assessment of a player, you got to do it all, regular season and playoffs. And that's where you get your judgment from. You can't just say playoffs. That's what a lot of people say about Dak. They don't want to give him no credit at all for regular season play. And to do a total assessment of a player, you got to factor in both of them. Yes, you can talk about 2 and 5. You can do that. But you also got to talk about run-up MVP. You see what I'm saying? You got to do that. You have to do that because that represents production as well. He was an all-pro this year. That's production.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As well as you may say, well, he didn't win the playoff. Okay, you factor that in. Okay, that's not production. You didn't win. Okay, but you got to factor in the regular season. You got to do that. If you're going to give an honest assessment of a quarterback, you got to do that. So that's why I'm not saying get rid of him. If you just going by regular season, an argument I guess could be made say get rid of him. But then again, like I said, you got to go deep because you look at his stats in the playoff game, they ain't so bad. You understand? They ain't. Matter of fact, some of them are real good, actually. The bottom line is that. But you got to give a real assessment. And the same thing would go, as Angry Cowboy fan just said, about Michael Parsons. Okay? You got to factor in what he does in regular season. He all pro. You don't get all pro for playoffs. You get all pro for what you've done in the regular season. Then you want to factor in, if you want to, about the playoff and what he's done. But you got to go deeper into that. Because if you saying that, now I need to see play by play why he ain't making no plays. I mean, you got to watch film. Does this man get double teamed like that? And I know Angry Cowboy fans saying something about Aaron Donald. But Aaron Donald's, total different beast than Michael Parsons was. It took 2-3 men, and he still was strong enough to get through that. Michael Parsons ain't number 250 pounds. He can't get through no 330-pound tackle, and then you get a tight end who's 260 and trying to get through that. No. They get their hands on you, he's swallowed up. He's done. He's too small. They run straight at him. He gonna get beat up. He's just not. He's not that guy like that. You know what I'm saying? T.J. Watt, as much as most people say, when people run at T.J. Watt, he ain't that great. T.J. Watt just a sack guy. You know what I'm saying? But when he get ran at, he ain't that awesome in the run game because he's small too. You see what I'm saying? So you got to give a total assessment. We're gonna take you to watch a lot of film to make the right assessment by Michael Parsons. I'm just saying. It's really the truth on that. Now, let me get back to the part I was talking about. And we done talked about this before, Angry Cowboy fan. And I appreciate everybody. Everybody hit that like button, if you don't mind. Need the likes up. Go ahead and smash it for me. Trey Lance. Let me go on record now. I'm going to go on record. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can get mad at me all you want. Let me go on with this. A lot of y'all got a lot of hope in Trey Lance when it comes to Dak Prescott or whatever. Let me say this to y'all. And I stand by this. Trey Lance is not better than Cooper Rush. How about that? Forget Dak Prescott. How about he beats out Cooper Rush for the second or the backup quarterback first? How about that?
Right.
Trey Lance is not better than Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush is going to look better to me than Trey Lance will in the preseason. Why is that? He's familiar with this offense. Totally. Cooper Rush looks good in the regular. When he finally got a chance to play, Cooper Rush looked pretty good. Trey Lance hadn't done absolutely nothing. And if you've heard the reports from earlier, maybe about a month and a half ago, they saying he was struggling practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why everybody thinking, and just in case, and I get the same thing, and I'm gonna hand it off to you, ain't Cowboy fan. But keep in mind, before y'all go crazy over Trey Lance pulling the ball down and running for 15-yard play, and y'all say, "Oh my God!" Keep in mind that Trey Lance would probably be going against guys that just finished changing oil at your local Jiffy Lube. You understand me? Don't forget that. Don't act like he did this against starters, because ain't nobody playing real starters in preseason. Let's not act like he just outstanding, because some of y'all are going to be saying, he should be the starter. See, he's done enough. This guy that he just did it against worked at Toys R Us last week. You understand?
Yes.
So let's not act like that is going, and Cooper Rush gonna get the same thing, because he's gonna be going against backups too. He's gonna be going against backups too. But let's not lose our mind. First things first, Trey Lance got to beat out Cooper Rush. That's really all I'm saying. And I don't think that he's better than Cooper Rush. Go ahead, Angry Cowboy fan.
Oh! I just looked at the comments. My cheerleader's here. What's going on, Eastside Harold? How you doing? Yeah, he mad that I won't unblock him. I tried to give him some props on somebody else's live because Craven Cowboys, he donates to Craven Cowboys and everything, and that's dope. I think that's truly dope. So I tried to give him props on that, and he resorted to middle school tactics. But anywho, oh man. But as far as Trey Lance, I've been seeing so many people. It's like, you got to give Trey Lance a chance. Give Trey Lance. Like, what is up with this participation award? What is up with this Pee Wee League mentality that we have to give everybody on the team a try? It don't work that way. We put the best people out on the field. And one thing that I'm going to tell you is that Cooper Rush ain't going to go walking quietly into the night.
No.
He ain't going to say, "Oh, here you go, Trey. They want to prop you up." He's going to go out there and be like, "This is why I deserve this. And this is why you're going to pay me more than what you paid me last time."
Yeah.
So as far as like as far as Trey Lance, I've said this in my videos. I hate this for the simple fact that I'm sitting here sounding like I'm a hater of a person that has never had a chance in the NFL. I hate it. Just for the simple fact, he could be something somewhere, but I just don't think it's Dallas.
No. I don't think that it's a reason why the 49ers let him go and traded him for, not traded, but Sam Darnold. Yes, that same Sam Darnold that was with the Jets, who we all said is trash when he's with the Jets. He beat out Trey Lance. That's the 49ers when Trey Lance got drafted. Do y'all remember the price that the 49ers paid to move up in the draft to get Trey Lance? I believe it was 3 picks or something like that. To get him, and then you let him go just to get a 4th round pick back a couple years later. That Trey Lance, a coach in Kyle Shanahan, who is a quarterback type of coach, and he let him go just about for free. Do y'all remember that? It's a reason why he let him go. In fairness to Trey, he shouldn't have beaten out Cooper Rush last year because he didn't know the offense. He came at the training camp and all that type of stuff. He shouldn't have beaten out Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush had such a head start on him. But certainly by now, he should be neck and neck with Cooper Rush, to be honest with you. And he's gonna get plenty of opportunity in the preseason to get the job done. I'm just saying there's nowhere in the world to me that we can honestly say that he is better than Cooper Rush right now. I don't believe it, and by no means. I don't even think it's close. To be honest with you. And I think that, you know, a lot of y'all gonna be. I'm cheering for Trey. I hope he does well. You know, because he got a somewhat of a bad rep. The 49ers made sure of that.
Yeah.
The 49ers made sure of that. Just by what they let him go for and letting Sam Darnold be ahead of him. That's so it's actually backwards. Look at the 49ers depth chart. Mr. Irrelevant is the starter. Last pick of the entire draft. The first round pick, Sam Darnold. What was Sam pick? Was he first? Did Sam get? Well, I know he was in the first round, but Sam was. I don't know if he was the number one pick, but I know he was first round. I don't think Sam was the first overall pick in the draft. Somebody help me out on that. I see you angry Cowboy fan looking at it, but for those that's on y'all computers, why don't y'all look at that too? If you don't mind. Help your boy out real quick. Help your boy out. But I think it's backwards because I don't think nobody was picked higher. He was third overall.
Third overall.
So look at it. Mr. Irrelevant starts. Sam Darnold is the first round pick, third overall. And then Trey Lance, who they gave up a boatload for, was picked higher than him. So it's actually backwards. And he couldn't even beat out Sam Darnold. And some of y'all say Dak Prescott, he should beat out Dak. And I'm like, what world are y'all from? That's my question. And forget Dak. Beat out Cooper Rush first. And he had a chance to do it, like I said. But I just don't see a lot of y'all Trey Lance questions are going to be answered in just a few more weeks when this thing gets started coming up. And as a matter of fact, we ain't got long because the first one of the games against the Rams, when we do that double scrimmage, the game is on August the 11th. We're talking 2 weeks from now. So we gonna find out real quick about Trey Lance because he's gonna have plenty of opportunity. Go ahead, Cowboys fan.
And I know you probably did this last year. A lot of Cowboys Nation in here probably did this last year. But how many of y'all were screaming at the TV whenever we were up on the Giants 40-0? Who was screaming at the TV? You know, it was, put Cooper Rush in, but then like the Carolina Panthers game.
Yeah.
We got up comfortably. What were we saying? Put Trey Lance in the game. I made a video saying that with the Carolina Panthers game, I was like, this is the last game that you can legitimately put Trey Lance in because we're going into the gauntlet after that game.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't budge. It's like
he was not ready. He was not ready. You know what Trey Lance was doing there in Cowboys? I don't mean to cut you off, but you know what he was doing? In practice, he was running the scout team offense more than he was running the Dallas Cowboy offense. Come on now.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm not even saying like the 2023 season, but like, how long has Trey been with us? Has he been with us a whole year, or did they get him?
It'll be a whole year coming up now.
Yeah. They
coming up right about now, or where he came in after training camp started. So it really ain't been a whole year yet.
So they got him at the most unopportune time. Unopportune. And I know that they tried to get him to light a fire under Dak Prescott. And that's what they tried to do. But now they're trying to sit here and act like as if they're flipping a house, and it's just not clicking. It's not clicking. So people are pretty much wasting this kid's development years. And that's what irritates me. You're not going to get the development in Cowboys Nation. You're not going to get it with Dallas. You're not going to get the playing time. No. Like, he should be a backup for a New Orleans Saints or a Minnesota Vikings or something like that.
You just said something right there. And you really just hit on a great point. The man has been in the league going into his this is third year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think this is his third year. Okay. He hadn't even played a full season worth of games. Injuries have derailed him. He missed about a whole year with an injury. Then when he played, he didn't start off playing. He came in at the middle of the season, gave him a chance. He didn't look good then. And he didn't play last year. So really, to be honest with y'all, he's still in rookie mode.
Yeah.
I mean, once you really think about it, he ain't played 17 games. I even throw in he ain't played 17 games, preseason games included. He ain't even played. I'm serious. So really, you really taking a chance of having a guy looking like a deer in headlights if he was to really get out there. He haven't played. And forget Dak Prescott. I mean, y'all, some of y'all already disrespect Dak as it is. But I'm just saying it's disrespect to Cooper Rush to even insinuate that this dude is better than him. Seriously. And I, the depth chart, I ain't checked it out yet, but let me look and see. I'll do that right here. I think the depth chart ought to have Trey Lance as the third quarterback right now. It should not be Cooper Rush as the third quarterback. I'm going to look that up right now.
As a Dallas Cowboy fan, anybody that's a Cowboys fan in the chat, ask yourself this question. Who do you feel more comfortable with going in if something were to happen to Dak Prescott? I want to talk that into existence. But if something were to happen where the backup had to go in, who do you trust more, Cooper Rush or Trey Lance?
Wow.
And I don't want to hear you got to give them a chance because, like I said, this isn't the Pee Wee League where everybody gets a shot. We got to put the best people out there. So who do you want going out on that field?
Well, I just looked it up, and to my amazement, Trey Lance is listed as the second quarterback.
This is killing.
And I know, and which now look, that gives me what they just did as a content creator. They just gave me another topic for another show. Cause how in the world can you honestly tell me that Trey Lance has bypassed Cooper Rush when you don't have no evidence, no tape to show better other than practices? So you're really trying to force an issue that's really not there. See what I'm saying?
And that's
that's
the whole quarterback room. They're trying to force issues that aren't even there.
Yes.
You're sitting there, like people are sitting there talking about, well, Dak Prescott have a $55 million cap hit. Not if you extend him.
Not if you extend him.
Uh-huh. It goes down to 30 something. You can bring it under 20% of the salary cap if you choose to. Just trying to be cheap. But mess around and find out. Mess around and find out because every single one of your quarterbacks are free agents next year. Mess around and find out and get outbid on all three of your quarterbacks. Then what are you going to do?
You're in trouble.
In trouble.
You're in big trouble. Listen, man, I appreciate everybody that was with me today. I'm going to go ahead and get off. I want to open the line, but when I got a guest to come into the house that takes over the phone line, an Angry Cowboy fan is in the building, and I appreciate him so much hopping on with me. Like I said, it wasn't his plan to come on, but when the bat signal go in the air, I'm one of them type that'll go ahead and say, hey, what should be, I'm fit to send the link. And that's how we do anything. So there it is. Coach Marv. Coach Marv just made it worse. I'm sorry. Let me read the super chat because I put it up there. When we were talking about things, B-Bird said, it's an issue when the same people that were around during the Herschel Walker trade are the same people here today. Shaking my head. That's another whole point within itself. It's just the truth because that's the same, the mentality is somewhere tucked in their head. I think Jerry has changed, but he's leaning toward Stephen Jones' way of doing things. Same people. Stephen Jones has remained consistent. If you remember, Stephen Jones is the same guy that put his daddy on the wall for signing Deion Sanders. That's another whole conversation in itself, because let me give it to you easily. A son jacked his own daddy up and put him on the wall. Let me say it one more time, because I have a son and my mind just went there to see if my son did that to me. How would I respond? Let me say it one more time. A son. This is factual. This is not innuendo. This happened when Deion Sanders got signed to the Cowboys. Stephen Jones was quote unquote so mad that his dad, and keep in mind there wasn't no salary cap back then, but he got so mad at his daddy that he jacked him up and put him on the wall. I wonder what he was saying to daddy then. I'm wondering, was it some cuss words? He did it to his daddy. But I'm saying Steven has been consistent because he's still cheap.
Yeah.
Even to this day. Jerry is the one that went from risk to conservative. You see what I'm saying? So Steven has been this way. But Coach Marv just put up a thing here that made it really hit it home. Coach Marv says in terms of Trey Lance, he says from college to the NFL, Trey has not had 25 starts in his whole football time. Ladies and gentlemen, that means going back to North Dakota State, to the 49ers, to the Dallas Cowboys. Trey Lance has not started 25 games, which means now the most games he done played probably was in high school. Mm-hmm. And y'all sitting there telling me that this man is the second quarterback on the depth chart right now, and he better than Cooper Rush. Yeah, I'll talk about that Monday. And Cowboy fan, you welcome to come on and pair up and everything else, but I'm having a problem with that right there, that statement Coach Marv just made. That's crazy.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. In his entire career since high school, he's only had 420 pass attempts.
Say what?
420 pass attempts. Dak has that
in game time.
Half the season.
Oh, we can't rush by that. We can't rush by that, ain't Cowboy fan. In game time situations, Trey Lance has had what now?
420 pass attempts since high school. That's not somebody I am going to put the whole organization in the hands of. See, I go on these fan pages on Facebook. I go into my own profile because I like to go incognito just to see what people are talking about. But but it's like, that's what they're saying is give Trey Lance this chance. No, he has to earn this chance, and earning this chance goes through Cooper Rush. Forget putting him on the same level of Dak Prescott.
It just got even worse. Coach, I ain't Cowboy fan. B. Bird just made it worse. He says he played in a wing T offense in high school. Now, if you know anything about football, a wing T formation is primarily for an athletic quarterback who does a lot of running.
This is what we want. You
got to be kidding me. I'm serious now. You got to be kidding me, man. And how about this? One thing that you can't argue with, while y'all saying give him a chance. Okay, here's what his resume shows. He stays hurt. I thought that the best characteristic of a quarterback is his availability. That's really any football player. Trey Lance has been hurt more than he has played games. The boy's young and fragile as glass already.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
And one thing about a quarterback that makes me like them is the fact that whenever the pocket collapses, what do? That's when it's go time. You can have a pretty pocket and stand in there and do whatever you do. But once that pocket breaks down, what do? His first instinct is to take off running.
Yeah.
Dak's first instinct is to establish another pocket and extend the play and get a pass out. Traditional quarterback stuff. Like, boy, these Monday quarterbacks. Well, I swear. I guess I'm one too.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today we've had shows like mine, Angry Cowboy Fan, are opinionated, but they're opinions that are somewhat based off facts. Okay, we do our research, we kind of interpret the way we interpret it. I guess you can still say it's opinionated, but it's opinionated off a report, facts, or whatever. But here we go with the biggest news. The Dak Prescott, for those that joined in late, there are talks between the Cowboys and the organization. That's what you take from that. We don't know if it's positive, negative. We figured it's positive because that's what the report said. So positive talks. That mean that Dak fit a sign tomorrow. It's just that probably, they climbing up the ladder, rung by rung. Things are happening. So we take that. But the biggest news that I saw out of my little show today, what I just looked at, and I got a problem with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Trey Lance on the depth chart of the Dallas Cowboys with no evidence to prove that he's better than Cooper Rush is now listed as the second quarterback, second string, whatever you want to call it, QB number 2 on the Dallas Cowboy depth chart. Why in the world did this happen? I got a problem today. I wish I would have seen this at the beginning of the show. I would have tore up my notes and went with this just off my head. But Monday at 7 p.m., oh, I'm coming. I'm coming with pure smoke. I'm coming. I'm already telling you what I'm talking about, y'all. Angry Cowboy Fan, what's going on? I'm sorry, I don't know. You ain't got to repeat it. I saw Drew said something about what's going on, brother. I don't know.
Everybody that rocks with the channel, they know that my brother, who's my best friend, he's been my best friend all my life. He is a diabetic and has kidney failure. Recently had his foot amputated, well, half of his foot, and he got another infection, so he's back at the hospital having more of his foot taken off, and it's Pastor, I need some prayer, you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna do that right now, considering who I am, other than being big time. Hey, I'm a pastor preacher, and we're gonna pray everybody that believes. If you don't believe, keep your head down or don't close your eyes. But if you're a believer, because we believe that the fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much. That's what the word says. So let's pray real quick for Angry Cowboy Fan's brother and his family. Oh God, we thank you for this time. We thank you for the opportunity to come before your throne of grace. We thank you, God, that we know who you are. Your word declares that you are a healer. Your word declares that you can do anything at any time. Your word declares and proves that you are able to fix things. You fix things for so many others. You fix things. You fix sicknesses. You fix depression. You fix bad mindsets. You're able to do anything and at any time. We believe that now. I personally know what you can do. You've done it for me. You healed my body. You things appear, and yet they did not have the symptoms or the results did not make it manifest, even though I actually had things. So you're able to defy things. Just because we may have something does not mean that it has us. And so, God, we lift up Angry Cowboy Fan's brother right now, even at this moment. We know what has already happened, but even in spite of it happening, Oh God, you can do anything even though something is happening. So we pray now that the effects of the amputation does not take place. Oh God, even though there's another infection that is shown up, we pray now for the doctors to give them the right knowledge to what needs to happen for the brother. We lift him up now. We pray for peace in his mind now, even though he knows what he's going through. You're able to comfort him. You're able to deliver a bad mindset away. Oh God, we know that depression does not have to take place. We believe that now because you are a healer. There are many that are on this line who've had experiences where your healing has taken place. Healing of the body, healing of the mind. We believe that now. And God, we pray now for every Cowboy fan. We pray for his peace. We pray for everybody that's associated with his brother now. Give them peace. Give them strength to even endure what's coming ahead or what's going on now. We pray now for healing, God. We pray for healing right now. Let it happen. Let the doctors be confounded. Let them wonder, how in the world did this happen? Let it happen, God. Let it happen. You've done it for so many others. Well, we ask you that you do it for him now. And we believe this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Woo. I appreciate you letting me do that, ain't Cowboy fan.
Thank
you be
you.
encouraged, brother. Be encouraged. And maybe we'll talk because I got your phone number. So I didn't know because I didn't check out your last show. I've been so busy. And I apologize for that because I usually watch your show along with some of the other brothers on my thing. But I'm glad you put that up, Drew, because it gave me a thing.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. Thank you very much, for real. It's been a minute since I apologize.
You all right, bro. You all right. You all right. You all right. You ain't gotta say nothing else like a Cowboy fan. You good. You got it. I got you. You okay. Everybody keep this family lifted up. Okay? We ain't on football now. Just keep the family lifted. Keep the brother lifted. He's going through, he needs our prayers. But then keep up Angry Cowboy fan lifted too. It affects everybody, obviously. See what I'm saying? And no matter what, God is still in control. And he's able to do it. So let's this is where your faith kicks in. This is where your hope kicks in. And even though we may be in a state of crying or even slightly depressed, God is still in control. He made his body. Guess what? He made it. Which means he knows the antidote to how to fix it. It's just that simple. If he made the body, and he did, then he knows what that body needs. And I believe that.
Everybody in the chat that's shown empathy, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Eastside Harold, I actually seen that you said, yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. This hurts, dude.
You ain't got to say nothing to East Side, but like I
you
said,
have your brother, somebody whom you two have raised each other because your parents had something more important out in the street. You become your brother's keeper, and I am my brother's keeper. And for you to disrespect him like that, I have no respect for you, dude. None. So every time I see you, I'm gonna pray for you, because if you can sit there and say, yeah, okay, when you see somebody visibly hurt, you need prayer, my dude, just like I do.
He just said it wasn't towards you. I don't think he low down.
I hope so, my man. I hope so. Because I am my brother's keeper.
Yeah.
I might have heard that on New Jack City, but this is the truth.
That's the truth.
I am my brother's keeper.
Yeah. We're going to leave that alone. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody in the chat saying that. Drew, I didn't know you was a preacher too. So I'd really like you even more. Appreciate you, Drew. An ordained elder. Are you an ordained elder in the Church of God in Christ, Drew? Just type it in, yes or no. I'm waiting on you, Drew. Are you a Church of God in Christ, or what's your affiliation? Or if there is one.
And if you weren't talking to me, Sahara, I apologize. I apologize, but these are stressful times, my dude, and I truly apologize if you weren't talking to me. And I thank everybody in the chat. I thank you, Pastor.
Yeah, man.
You know, without Cowboys Nation,
yeah,
y'all keeping me afloat.
Well, I don't think I have to tell you, and it's not because of this, but for those that have not, or my people, I've seen you. Okay, Drew, I kind of figured that. I got you. Of all of you guys that have not followed Angry Cowboys fan, do that and watch your show. Great content creator, different type of content creator, does videos, questions and answer periods, and all that type of stuff. He's a bad boy. And for those that know, watch his channel. You already know that he's one of the best in the game. So if for all my people, go follow him and do that. As for me, obviously all you guys know where I am. If you have not turned on the live notifications to both of our pages, do that. So that way you don't miss anything that we put out. I will be with you guys on Monday night at 7 o'clock. Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. Central Time, 7 o'clock. I'll be here. Angry Cowboy fan is welcome to come. I already sent out the invitation because I already know what I'm talking about. I can give you the content now. I'm talking about Trey Lance / Cooper Rush. Now, that ain't as sexy as Dak Prescott, but I'm irritated right now. I'm serious. I'm baffled by the fact I'm trying to figure out how he became second string and Cooper Rush I know is better. And this is with the part where I say this all for Monday night, but I'll just say this. This is where I think the politics usually show up in the Dallas Cowboys land. It just never fails. And there is no, oh, Terry, yeah. You say you're a licensed truck driver. I already know that, Terry. Boy, you a fool. Terry Turner. Do Terry, you follow Angry Cowboy fan? Terry Turner's a fool, man. This is my guy. I'm talking about funny. This is crazy. That's my guy. But I got a problem with that. Yeah, appreciate you, Drew. Appreciate that confidence there.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that. That's from an Eagle fan. I take that. I appreciate that. We try to keep it real over here as best as we can. Plus, we almost same age, but I'm older. Me, Drew, look like you and I might be in the same age group. I'm 51. I know the Angry Cowboy fan was younger than that, but we look like we the same thing. So most older people like me. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much where my base come from. Older folk. The young folks don't like me too much. Well, they do, but there are much younger guys out, so they follow me. But the older crew kind of like me. So we'll keep this senior citizen show going. We'll keep the same. We the ARRP Cowboy content creator. So I'm gonna keep it like that. But Aaron Cowboy fan, I ain't gonna put you on the spot, but if you're available, we can have this discussion. And I might invite somebody else to this because this is mind-boggling to me that this dude is second string quarterback. I got a real problem with that. For real. But you're welcome to come if you want, if you can, if you're not busy. And I understand if you are. But ladies and gentlemen, we out of here. Keep Angry Cowboy fan family lifted. Keep them lifted now. They need our prayers. His brother needs our prayers. And that's what we're going to do because that's what we do. We're believers. Go ahead.
Just say this real quick. I got an AARP card too. But anyway, I'm 41. But everybody, this is just a prime example. The first time I met Big Time, we was, I was in the chat, everybody's talking football, and all of a sudden it just broke down into some real life stuff, and we ended up, Big Time prayed for us and everything. And I just want to say this: we may have a difference of opinions as far as the Cowboys, or even differences of opinions when it comes to our teams, but that doesn't mean that we have to show each other hatred. That doesn't mean that we have to sit there and go back and forth. I hate you because this. No. At the end of the day, we all brothers. At the end of the day, we all sisters. And I want what's best for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I want what's best for every single person in this chat. And though our teams may not align, just know that from the heart, I want what's best for you, your family, and what you got going in your life. This is bigger than football. Yeah. This is humanity. And I love you guys, and I thank you, Pastor.
Yeah, man, no problem. I appreciate you. And on that note, he closed everything out. I ain't got to add or take away nothing to it. We'll see you Monday, 7 p.m. for the one and only. And on behalf of, I ain't got to say on behalf, y'all check out Ain't Cowboy fan. He's here. We'll let it go. And hopefully he'll be with us Monday night. But if not, turn on those live notifications for him, and you will see him as well. Until Monday at 7 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, this has been, oh my, the one and the only, the Big Time Show.